You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here for Drake Wing Gaming. It's something on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you. Another Let's Play episode of Repeat, Owen's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm change, we're up and let's go. Put all them ketchup bottles. Alright, by the time we arrived at the dining hall, it was already packed with students massacring each other over tater tots. Thankfully, there was still some food left. Phillip and I grabbed all the eggs and toast we could carry and managed to snag an empty table. The moment we sat down, I smacked my face into the table with an exhausted sigh. It's only morning, but things were already heavy and tiring. Ugh, what a day. I felt a comforting pat on my back and mumbled my thanks. Suddenly, something freezing pressed against my back of my neck. It's cold as fuck! Wow, what a wimp! You alright there, Adrian? Phillip passed me a glass of iced tea. I glared at it tiredly. Good morning to you too, I guess. Sissel, when did you get here? Phillip dragged me over while you were busy making out with the table. Speaking of which, Phillip, there are better ways of waking me up besides pressing iced tea to my neck. But you look like you needed to cool off a bit. Sissel and I collectively groaned. It's still too early for this shit. You're all a bunch of killjoys. I sighed and took a sip of my tea. It should be illegal to do this, to be this cheerful in the morning. I spat my tea all over the table and formed a rainbow in the morning sun. This tea is even more bitter than my soul. Why the hell is it unsweetened? Phillip nonchalantly took a bite of his toast as he opened up a newspaper. Sugar is bad for you. You know, Phillip, the more I get to know you, the more you start sounding like an old man. A newspaper? At this day and age? Hey, I didn't judge you for streaking in the dorms a few days ago. That wasn't... Is that how flirting works nowadays? Wow, Sissel, you better watch out. I'll have to keep an eye out for him. How could you two be so mean to me? I thought we were friends. Mutual bullying is the path to friendship. Phillip continued scanning the newspaper with indifference while munching on toast. The little guy seems pretty relaxed now that he's out of the office. Who would have thought he'd switch moods so quickly? I'm glad he's settled down. It was weird seeing Phillip so quietly furious. Sissel was buttering a bagel when something caught his eye. Phillip, what's on the front page? The Daily Muse. I glanced over curiously. The front page showed a large photo of a creepy guy in a hood. It says the Black Cat strikes again. Apparently he vandalized a corrupt businessman's home at this time. The Black Cat? You don't know the Black Cat? Never heard of him. Is he famous? Oh, right, you're not from this side of town, are you, Adrian? The Black Cat's sort of like a local hero around here. Hero? The guy's a criminal, Sissel. Who cares? He'll always be a hero in my book. Anyway, Adrian, the Black Cat is this guy who pops out of the blue every now and then around here. He's like a vigilante graffiti artist, an aggressive one. He sprays and vandalizes the homes and businesses of corrupt assholes around the neighborhood and exposes them for the shit they do. The papers say he's got a special interest in the Lorelei family's shady dealings, but he'll target anyone who deserves it, really. His work attracts a lot of media attention that usually ends up revealing these people's crimes to the public. Sure, what he's doing is a bit illegal, but at least he's made some pretty big changes around here. He kinda sounds like an asshole himself if you really think about it. Well, yeah, he does, but the Black Cat's done a lot of great things for me. Like what? Well, this orphanage I used to live at was full of jackasses that starved the kids and never really paid attention to them. The environment was far from nurturing. I ran away the first chance I could, but I always felt bad for leaving the younger ones back there. But then a few years ago, the Black Cat just appeared out of the blue. He ransacked and tagged the orphanage from top to bottom. That place was front page news for days as folks investigated every inch they could reach. Oh, I think I remember this on the news a few years ago. There was a full-on public investigation of the place, and it got shut down and reformed, right? Yeah, a bunch of the twats working there got arrested for child abuse, and the city rebuilt the orphanage from the ground up. Sure, I left before any of this happened, but one of the kids I know from this orphanage is finally living a happy life thanks to the Black Cat. He even got to start elementary school a few years ago. I never even got that chance. There was a pause as Sissel quietly caught his breath. He blinked as if suddenly realizing where he was and flushed red. Sorry, I rambled on a bit, didn't I? I'm sorry for ruining the mood. Anyway, the Black Cat's a cool dude. You gotta at least admit he's done some good things. Anyone who can outrun the cops on a skateboard sounds pretty cool to me. So he's like Batman, but with spray paint. Sounds badass. Sort of? I guess you could say he's a Catman. Sissel and I groaned. You're ruining the mood, man. Catman doesn't really roll off the tongue the same way. Excuse me, what do you have against cats? Hey, I never said... Well, looks like it's time for class. Can we save the cats versus bad argument for later? Philip powdered into his toast while Sissel heartily agreed. As the three of us headed to class, Philip was back to his old grinning self. I sure hope it stayed that way. I was dreading our creative writing class. The thought of seeing Mr. Dolores already gave me a headache. Lucky he wasn't here yet, thank God. As Philip, Sissel, and I plopped into our seats in the very back of the lecture hall, Mr. Rokov entered the classroom and approached us. Good morning, gentlemen. I hope you are well. Oh, hey, Vice Principal. Have you fired Dolores yet? Oh, I'm afraid I'm here for an entirely different reason. Sounds about right. Sissel, could you join me in the office right now? There are some matters that require your presence. Second, y'all. It is, in fact, water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. Sure, I guess. Oh, what's it about? It's quite private. I will explain everything in the office. Sissel shrugged and followed Mr. Rokov out of the lecture hall with mild confusion. I have a bad feeling about this. Well, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but that didn't look too good. Maybe they're trying to get Sissel's side of the story too, like how they did with us this morning. Adrian, I admire your optimism. Or maybe you just have too little? Philip shrugged. The school hasn't given me any reason to be. Hey, cuties, how's it going? Owen leisurely plopped down on the seat next to Philip. He winked and lounged his arm around Philip's shoulders like an armrest. Philip looked nonplussed. Am I interrupting something? Well... Besides people's personal space? Not at all. Welcome to class, Owen. Ha, come on, little guy, I just missed you. You're always up so early and come back to the dorms so late. A little friendliness every now and then wouldn't hurt. Owen leaned over and rested his head on top of Philip's. He didn't seem to notice Philip quietly gritting his teeth. Sorry, you've made it rather difficult. But hey, at least now you can get back to our roommate bonding, am I right? He leaned into Philip's chair until their cheeks were almost rubbing together. Their whiskers tickled against each other from the close contact. Let me know if you want me to do anything for you. Anything at all. Owen, you might want to back down a little. What, you jealous, Adrian? Philip let out a quiet hiss. Can I have my chair back? Oh, right, sure. Why's everyone so grumpy all of a sudden? Y'all need to let loose, live a little, you know? Where's the teacher? Isn't class supposed to start right now? Ouch, now you're giving me the cold shoulder? You're breaking my heart. Owen inched a flirty hand onto Philip's thigh with a wink. I'm sure if you just open up a little more, we get along fine. Whoa, what's with that look? That's your hint to piss off, Owen. Or is that not straightforward enough? Jeez, I was just trying to be nice. Nice? Nice? Do you have any idea how much of a pain you've been in the last few days? You have zero sense of boundaries. A damn preschooler knows how to behave better than you. I didn't think. You never do. It's a bit irritating, really. I've told you again and again. Oh, hey, Owen, back off a little, please. But no, let's keep creeping up on me. I'm sure I'll like you more then. Am I just a new toy for you to play around with? Have you bothered wondering how you make other people feel? No, you just take what you want without a care in the world. You Lorelei's are all the same. Give me a fucking break. I need some air. Philip shakily stood up and stumbled out of the room, as though in a daze. The room was silent, and all eyes were on Owen, who looked stunned in disbelief. I was shocked myself, but now was not the time to worry about that. Talk to Owen. Owen, are you all right? Owen blinked, still somewhat in a daze. Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little, surprised, I guess. People around the room were starting to murmur and gossip amongst themselves. This probably wasn't a good addition to the scenario. Hey, Owen, let's go for a walk. You look like you need some fresh air. Owen's eyes stared off into the distance, looking past me. Sure. I dragged Owen outside and away from all the chatter and judging eyes. He just stumbled along blindly behind me, still stunned from earlier. Owen, about earlier, Phillip had a point. You really should start respecting people's boundaries. Not everyone's going to be into that. Granted, Phillip was a bit harsh back there, but still. Nah, he was just being honest. I have been a bit of a pain. I just never realized how much I was bothering him. It's been a while since someone tried to set me right. Feels strange. Feels strange? Back there, you look like someone stabbed you with a butter knife. Are you sure you're alright after that? It feels like being home again, honestly. I haven't had someone around to tell me off in a while. It's honestly a little refreshing. Like waking up after long days. Owen shook his head furiously, as though to clear out his head. His ears drooped with a hint of shame. I've got no right to complain right now, though. Still gotta apologize to Phillip. I've been coming off a bit strong and probably making life difficult for him. I have a bad habit of fucking things up, don't I? Owen glanced at me silently before grinning again. His smile didn't quite reach the eyes. Are you worried about me, Adrian? I'm fine. No need to stress. Phillip's a wounded party here. You probably should go comfort him instead. I gotta figure out a proper way to apologize. You think we can still be friends after this? I scratched my head thoughtfully. You should probably give him a little bit more space and actually listen for once. Maybe have a talk about what his boundaries are instead of talking over him all the time. Sounds fair enough. Phillip's a pretty cool guy. I know I've done a fair job of pissing him off, but I hope we can still get along. Owen sighed and glanced towards me with a soft smile. Thanks for worrying about me, Adrian. I don't really deserve it, but it's nice. I appreciate it. Of course. Let me know if you ever need to talk. Owen chuckled. Could you maybe do me a favor and let me know when Philip's cooled down a bit? I want to at least let him know I'm sorry, and maybe patch things up if he gives me the chance. Of course. I'll check up on him later and let you know. Thanks, Adrian. You're a real bro. Owen pulled me into a tight, warm hug. With my face pressed against his chest, I could hear his heart racing rapidly. Despite that grinning face, he's still pretty torn up inside. Hope we can get things to work between them again. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!